Cool.
Talk to that, not that.
Hey guys, this is the Daily Espresso short shots of big ideas, and today we're going to chat. Well, this week we're really going to change it up. Well, from going forward, we're probably going to change it up massively. What we're going to do? We're in our office, and we thought, why not let's get deep on this one. Let's block out the background noise, and let's go real deep with this and see how far we can go. We want to talk about a few things, and Chris is gonna take a little bit of the what he loves doing best, and asking questions.
Love it.
This is going to coincide with something that we're about to release, a little ebook that we've written, put a bit of effort into. 10 reasons why your accountant doesn't want you to grow.
What's the title of the ebook again?
10 reasons why your accountant doesn't want you to grow. So let's get straight into it. Actually, before we do, Chris, why don't you run us through a bit of the structure of how we're going to run these things?
Cool. Thanks, Nardi.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a Q&A and a bit of interview style. One of the feedbacks that we got from people watching Daily Espresso is they wanted to change things up and actually probably extract a little bit of value. And probably while Nardi's a wealth of knowledge, sometimes some of the key little gem parts don't get extracted in a little bit of the Daily Espresso that we were doing. So what we felt that would be really great is to probably have someone there and just maybe, just stop, grab that, explore on the real key areas a little bit as we go through. So that's how we're going to look at running. So I will interject, Nardi, and make sure that we really get the great pieces of content out for everyone out there.
We are a dynamic duo. A big part of why we wrote this ebook was just being a bit upset and annoyed at stuff that we'd seen out there in the marketplace. When I say marketplace, I really mean the business marketplace. The small to medium enterprise space is where we are massively passionate about, we absolutely love, and we believe that the world can be a better place through better business and through entrepreneurs that run those better businesses. And for us, it was after seeing so many, talking to and seeing a number of them, working with a number of businesses, the initial stage of seeing where they'd come from, seeing who had been giving them advice, seeing what state of affairs their business was in. We were kind of really pissed off. And pissed off on two levels. One was that, people just thought that that's just what it was. And we knew that it definitely wasn't, because we're trying to be completely different, but that's just being ourselves. And the other one was that we felt that no one was really getting out there from the accounting space, stepping up and actually wanting to make a change and telling people why it should be different and how it should be. So that was a big reasoning behind writing that little that ebook and the 10 quick steps, and that's going to be available for download pretty soon. Very shortly. Cool, Chris. Let's talk about the first
Well, I guess
reason.
Let's start with why. So one of the reasons and I guess one of the bugbears that people have with accountants is they don't hear from them. So why is it not good that you, as a business owner, you're not actually hearing from your accountant? Why is that not a good thing?
Yeah, so I've been in the game for over 15 years, 16 odd years probably actually, and I think I came into accounting when GST just came out in 2000, July 2000, quite a long time ago now, but things rapidly changed from that point. All of a sudden, business owners had to actually see their accountants or have some contact with their accountants 4 times a year, 5 times a year instead of that one. What was done in the past and what's now done in the future is completely different. And a lot of accountants just haven't really figured that out. Now, there's 2 parts of that. One is just from a compliance level. Okay, great. You've got to get your forms filled. You've got to get your BAS lodged. It's got to be done right. That's great. But the problem then becomes it becomes robotic and solving a compliance need, filling out forms, and no longer being about the actual business and trying to make the business better if it could be better, and they all could be better. B, finding out issues and trying to resolve them and knocking them on the head as quick as possible. And then C, just really being that overall sounding board for the business owner. So
why is it
being
the
in
accountants
business-
aren't like that?
well, they just don't know. Like, they just haven't been, A, they haven't been trained. B, if, they've been going, practicing from prior to 2000, the year 2000, they don't know. They don't know any better. They're just used to doing annual accounts, annual tax returns, doing them 9, 10, 11 months late anyway.
Because it seems pretty
Producing
obvious.
it.
Like, clients often, come and want to actually ask an accountant, and they get asked the question. So I guess, like, what's stopping people? Like, what's stopping the accountants from actually doing it? Is it
Too busy?
yeah?
It's also on the side of the business owner. They a lot of the times, I mean, that so many business owners don't know that we know what we know, or they don't know what we can actually help them with. We coach businesses.
Well, that's a good
in their
segue.
business,
So, like, okay, so again, let's do a bit of our own head wobble and a bit of our own poker ties. Why are we different from that? So if people out there aren't hearing from their accountant,
Yep.
And they are frustrated, and they do have questions, and they do want a bit more from that trusted advisor, and it's always a bit of a funny one. So what are we doing out there to shout ourselves from the rooftops and help our clients? That's different.
We're just getting involved. So, and getting involved on a number of different levels. Yep, the compliance we do, without doubt. We complete BASs, we complete tax returns. We try and do that as quick as possible for the client to meet that need. But we're also getting heavily involved with reporting, whether it be quarterly, monthly, even biannually. Monthly is probably really good, but if you're not quarterly at least, and most of our clients are on quarterly reporting. What we're then doing from there is actually sitting down with our client, either virtually, because we value your time too, and don't want you having to drive around for meetings, but either virtually or face to face, to actually look at the strategy of the business, have a real deep discussion of where the business is going. Now, these little things are things that never were discussed. I remember when I first started out as an accountant, I was told, yep, get the form done, talk to the client about what you've just completed, and then leave it at that. Never at one point was there a need to actually go, okay, well, here it is, we've completed all, you've completed whatever it was, your financials, your quarterly BAS. Here it is, everything's great or everything's good. Here's an issue that we've resolved, etc., etc. Now let's look forward. Now let's look forward at what the next month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months are going to look like. Now, we've just started doing annual strategy meetings with almost all our clients. We've basically made it mandatory that it needs to be done. And the feedback's just been awesome. The feedback's been fantastic because all of a sudden we've forced, right, in the nicest way, we've forced some of our clients to have to sit down with us for whatever it is, an hour at a minimum, and talk about and think about the next 12 months.
And that might be
beyond the numbers, because that's the hardest part. Like, how do you think about the future and actually draw a line in the sand and say, this is what we're going to aim to
Do you think
achieve?
most business owners actually think about that?
No. Well, actually, I lie, sorry. They do think about it. They don't think about it in a structured way. They don't think about it with anyone who they can think about or discuss it with. So, you and I, business owners, we think about our business all the time. We're lucky we've got a bit of accountability with ourselves, or a lot. What we don't, if we're on our own, we wouldn't really have anyone else to talk to about. That's the biggest thing. No one's got someone to actually be that soundboard. No one. A lot of small business owners don't have someone that can just bounce ideas off. Someone that can say, all right, well, now let's talk about your exit strategy. Now let's talk about your operations. Now let's talk about how much you want to be paid over the next 12 months. They try and involve their other half, and their other half might be incredibly switched on in the business space. A lot of the times, they just don't want to know about it. Yeah, it's a difficult discussion, right? So a lot of it's really coming down to that.
Good work. I like it. I like this format. This is going to work well, I think. Good stuff.
Good to get you involved in this one, Chris.
Thanks.
Now that we've got tripods doing, we've even made you redundant. No one's indispensable.
See, I'm going to cut him off now. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Stay tuned. We'll keep working through the 10 reasons why your accountant is stopping you from growing over the next couple of weeks. But as always, please add comments, add your questions in there. We want feedback. We want to know if we're hitting the right messages and the right questions and the right topics. So Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a cracking day. The sun's shining.
It is. It was on my face before. It's very nice.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Catch up with you soon. This one bombed out.